Hello everybody and welcome back. So in this final one we're gonna make vertex shader. So we're gonna make trees wobble in the air like this, like it's some wind. So this one I made before and we're gonna make sure we have it on these trees as well. So let's get started. So these shaders are at the moment. So this bark is only in the fragment shader, but we're going to work in the vertex shader, moving the vertex around. And the first thing we're going to make, we're going to mask. So let's see, if we do a scene, we can put it here. So we're going to work here. Yes, perfect. So this tree here, we want to move the vertex to left and right and forward and backward, but we don't want to move it in the green eye axis. We just want to move it in the X and Z, right? So and also we don't want to move them down here in the bottom. We just want to move them most at the top and less at the bottom. So the first thing we're going to do is a mask for the tree. So we do a position. So the position here is the vertex position. And we are going to split and only work with the height, right? And we're going to take the object and we're going to take the bound size and we're going to split. So here in the green one, we got the height of the whole object. And if we do a remap and we take the I value, so wherever it is in the height, and we're gonna take the, actually we're gonna make a vector 2 first. So we always know that the object's min position is 0. Well, actually this could go wrong if your mesh was lower than 0, but now in this case it's gonna work. But for our other reference, it's good to know. So this should work. Now we have remapped the bottom to the top, like from 0 to 13, I think. And it's going to be from 0 to 1. So if we just plug this one into the, just to debug in the base color and save it, it should be black and white. Oh, okay. We're going to make this ugly, but we're going to have the pine bark on the leaves as well. So what you can see here, it is black down there and it's white up there. And why it looks a little bit shady is because it's the normals is painting in special direction. But it works. This is exactly what I want. Black down there and it's going to be white up there. I'm actually just going to test and see what happens if we put the custom value. Yeah, well, it is the same thing, so I thought right about it. So this is our mask to know how much we should wiggle our treetops. So we're going to do lerp. So this 0 to 1 going to be our, we're actually going to do a clamp here. Or actually saturate. Saturate going to make sure it's between 0 and 1. It is, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. So set rate is making sure that all the values is between 0 and 1. And now, so this part is the mask. So we just do the mask here. So that's good. We got this thing going on. And now we need the make sure that we have the position of the vertex, and it's going to be in object space. And that's going to be in the first. So if it's black, we won't change anything. But if it's white, we're going to add some position to this position. And then this one going to go into the position. So this should only show it back to original. And we're going to make sure we have, yeah, we can actually leave this one like this. It's okay for now. So we need to make sure to add some kind of noise here. So in order to do this, we need to make some noise. So first off, we take the position. And we're gonna add time. And we're also gonna just do a multiply node here. So we're gonna add time to the position. And we're gonna make sure we have a float. And this is gonna be, we're actually gonna make it to property. And we're gonna make sure that the float is time speed. So time speed, we will make sure it's to 1, so something happens. So the thing is, when we have the position and we're adding time to it, if we then plug it into noise, we're going to do noise. Then the noise will always change. And we don't want the same noise variation on both X and Z, so we're actually going to make 2 of them. And we're also going to make a split here. Because what we want to do, we want to make sure that the R is X, and that one going to be noised by itself, and green, that's I. We want to move that one. B, Z, is going to be also animated in the Z direction. And let's see, we're going to make sure if we do a vector of these two. So I think let's lower this one to maybe 1 at the moment. We're going to change that later. So these are sizes. We're going to have it like this, smaller, easy to work with. And we're going to, so we have the X and Z in a vector 2. And we're going to remap that one. And we're going to, we know it from 0 to 1. And we're going to make sure that we remap that to a new value. And we're going to do it by doing a float. And we're gonna negate the value and put it into a vector 2. So let's say we do 0.2. Then it's here it's negative 0.2 and here it's 0.2 positive. So then we output a range between these two values. So it's easy to just do it with a float. And if we then just plug this one in here, it should move here and down here, not at all. and something's going on. And the reason is that we are adding with 2 vector, with 3 vector, and it messes up. So we need to do a split here. And we need to do a vector 3 here. So R is X, and green, because it's a vector 2, we only have 2 vectors. Green will be Z. So if we save now, you see down here it almost doesn't move, but up here it's actually happening things, right? So this is how it's going to work. Super nice. And the value seems pretty okay at the moment. That's good. And so we're actually going to make this float to and call it wind amp. And we're also going to have the noise, and the noise was pretty good too, but we're also going to have it noise scale. So if we have the noise scale, we can change the scale here. And even though we plug this one to 2 different, they are actually doing the same value. If I do this, I might as well just use one, because the values are exactly the same that going in. Deterministic means that if you put in a value here, let's say this value is 1, 1, this is 1, and you put in 1, 1, and 1, you get exactly the same noise out here. So that's why I'm going to do multiply with 1.1. And just doing that tiny scale thing makes these two give 2 different noises. And now it's actually pretty done. So the only thing we need to do is to copy this part to the leaf. So the leaf also needs this part here. So we have the position here. Also, we're gonna have the well, what was it? It was speed, and we want the wind amp, and we want the noise scale. So we got noise scale here, and it's gonna be this one here, and the noise scale was 1. And we have the speed here. It was I don't remember. Was it 1 here too? I think so. And also here is the wind amp, wasn't it? Should be. So what do we have here? We now do have the mask. So the mask is taking the position and remap it from 0 to the height of the object here. So we get 0 to 1 and do a black mask. Put it into the lerp. So if it's black 0, we have the position. If it's 1 or closer to 1, we're starting to get this 1. So the position adds with this value. And you see here, we're only putting in X and Z and not the I position, which means the tree will only wobble to the side because this one is empty. And we have here the position, and we animated position with the time here. So adding it. And then we split up the position to only take the X and Z, put some noise on it, we'll remap it to be between 0.2 negative and positive, and put it in. And we should have really nice trees now. So let's do this, and here we have it. Looks pretty good. So we were really lucky with the numbers. And for instance, if I do the scene here, if I start to noise scale, all right. So one thing to be cautioned about is if you start to mess with one material, you need to do exactly the same one on the other one, because now the branch has some noise on it, but the leaves doesn't have the same noise. So let's say if you have this tree here, then you need to make sure that you do the same time, speed, winamp, and noise scale on both of them at the same time. So what you could do, because I find it a little bit cumbersome to work on two materials at the same time like this, if you do a script that I actually made. So the script is super easy. I'm going to show it. So it has two materials, bark and leaf, and we have this speed, winamp, and noise scale. And here in the update, I just set the bark material and the leaf material to these values. And also what's important, I have this execute in edit mode. So this script will update in edit mode. And we need to make sure that we have speed with big S and so forth. So if we look here, this should be speed. And also we have wind amp. That's going to be wind amp, like that. And then you can see it's correct here. This is what we want, right? And then we have noise size, actually. Noise size. Now you see noise size like this. And that's exactly the same as here. So we have the bark, correct? And if we do the pine tree the same way, speed, and we do winamp, we do noise size. This should be correct. So now in the scene, if we just plug in the pine bark in the bark and pine leaf in the leaf, now we can change everything here. So it's easier to see what's going on. So this concludes the tutorial, and I really hope you liked it. So the tool is so cool. There's so much you can do with it. I'm looking forward to do more trees, actually. It's pretty fun. Yeah, all right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna leave it here. Stop playing around. Thank you. Bye.